Now, good morning to all of you. Now, today we have discussed about average velocity and average speed. What is meant by average velocity? Now, average velocity is defined as it is the ratio between displacement by time interval. Now, average velocity is nothing but displacement divided by time interval. Okay, time interval. Okay, and how to write the definition? Average velocity, it is defined as it is the ratio between displacement divided by time interval. Now suppose initially at time t is equal to t1, the position of the particle is at x1. Okay, at time t is equal to t1, position of the particle is x1. Then at t is equal to t2, that is final position, then the position x is equal to x2. Okay, now initial time is t1, final time is t2, initial position is x1, final position is x2. Therefore average velocity is equal to what is meant by displacement, that is displacement means delta x divided by time interval is delta t. Now average velocity is equal to delta x is nothing but x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t1. Now x2 means final position minus x1 means initial position divided by, that is final time is t2 minus initial time is t1. Therefore this is the average velocity, that is average velocity is x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t1, or delta x divided by delta t. Now this is about the average velocity. Now what is the SI unit? The SI unit of average velocity, delta x means displacement. What is the SI unit of displacement? Meter. And SI unit of time is second. Therefore the SI unit of average velocity is meter per second. Now this is about average velocity. Next, average speed. Average speed is nothing but distance divided by time interval. Now average speed is defined as it is the ratio between distance divided by total time interval. Okay, distance divided by total time interval. Average speed is defined as it is the ratio between distance, or that is also known as a path length divided by total time interval, or that is path length divided by time interval. Then SI unit of average speed is meter per second. Now average velocity, it is a vector quantity. Average velocity is a vector quantity and average speed is a scalar quantity. Okay, what is meant by scalar? Means it is having only magnitude, and vector means magnitude as well as direction. Now average speed SI unit is meter per second and it is a vector quantity, and average speed is a having unit is meter per second and it is a scalar quantity. Now in that case, always average speed is greater than or equal to average velocity. Average speed is always greater than or equal to average velocity. Average speed is always greater than or equal to average velocity. Please note down that average speed is always greater than or equal to average velocity. Now you have to take some notes. Okay, you have to take some notes. Now suppose this is the origin. Now here position is 10 meter, 20 meter, 30 meter, 40 meter, 50 meter, 60 meter. Now here position is minus 10 meter, minus 20 meter, minus 30 meter, minus 40 meters. Okay. Now first note is that when a particle moves from its initial position towards the right, means suppose initially the particle is at here. Now initially the particle is at here. Now this particle is moves towards the right, means now in that case its initial position is x1. Its initial position is x1 when time is t1. When time is t1, the particle is at position x1, okay, and it moves towards the right. Now first note, when particle moves towards right, moves towards right means moves towards the positive direction. Now initially at time t1 position is x1, then finally it reached to a position x2, means that 40 position. Now this is the x2 position. Now the time is t2. In that case, average velocity, okay, average velocity is equal to, what is the formula? Average velocity is x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t1. In that case, x2 means 40 minus x1 is 10. 40 minus 10 divided by t2 minus t1 means delta t. In that case, 40 minus 10 means 30 by delta t. Okay, time is always positive. Therefore, in that case, the average velocity is positive. Means when particle moves towards right, then average velocity is positive. Okay, when particle moves towards right, then average velocity is positive. Okay, average velocity is positive. Why average velocity is positive? In that case, x2 is greater than x1 because x2 is greater than x1. Why average velocity is positive means x2 value is more than x1. Now this is the first note. Okay, what is the first note? When particle moves towards the right, then average velocity is positive because x2 is greater than x1. Now note second. Now on same graph, okay, suppose the particle initially, okay, now the suppose particle initially at 20, okay, or we have to take a second, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, okay, and so on. Here minus 10, minus 20, minus 30. Now suppose initially the particle is at position 50 meters, that is x1 position and time is t2, and the particle is moves towards the left and finally reach to a 20, okay, that is final position is x2. In that case, which position is more? x1 is more than x2. In that case, x1 is greater than x2. Okay, then in that case, and here final time is t2. In that case, the average velocity is x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t1, that is x2. What is the x2 value? 20 minus what is the x1 value? 50, okay, and divided by delta t. 20 minus 50 means minus 30 by delta t. Okay, therefore average velocity in that case is negative. Average velocity in that case is negative. Means what is the note 2? When particles moves towards left, then average velocity is negative because x1 is greater than x2. Okay, write down note here. Note second, when particle moves towards left, then average velocity is negative. Average velocity is negative because x1 is greater than x2. Because x1 is greater than x2, means that is initial position is greater than final position. Okay, when initial position is greater than final position, then the part that is average velocity is negative. Now with the help of xt graph, we have to say, with the help of xt graph, the velocity is positive, negative or constant, we have to see. When the xt graph is looking like at that, when the xt graph is looking like at that, in that case, what is the average velocity? Okay, what is the average velocity? Now when the xt graph is looking like at that, now this is the initial point and this is the final point. This is the initial point, means this is the x1 and this is the x2. Now this is the t1 and this is the t2. Okay, now in that case, x2, the value of x2 is more than the value of x1. x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t1. Okay, the value of x2 is more than x1. The value of x2 is more than x1, means in that case the value of x2 is more than x1. Okay, therefore the average velocity is what happened. Now by using that xt graph, if you have find out the slope, okay, you have find out the slope. Now what happened? What is meant by slope? Okay, slope is nothing but change in y coordinate divided by change in x coordinate. Slope is equal to change in y coordinate divided by change in x coordinate, that is delta y by delta x. Now delta y means change in y coordinate. Now this is the x coordinate and this is the y coordinate. On y coordinate, which values will be changed? That is x2 minus x1, means in that case that is delta x. In x coordinate, what is present? Time, therefore delta t. Therefore slope is equal to delta x by delta t. Okay, therefore that is, this is equal to delta x by delta t. Therefore average velocity, which is equal to slope. Okay, therefore in xt graph the average velocity is equal to slope. Therefore in xt graph, average velocity is equal to the slope of the curve, is equal to the slope of the curve. Okay, then in that case that slope is constant. In that case the slope is constant. Therefore when the graph is looking like at that, in that case the average velocity is constant. Therefore this graph is known as a uniform motion. The graph of uniform motion means the particle moves in a uniformly, means the velocity will be constant. Then such a curve, such a motion is known as a uniform motion. Means what we have to remind that the slope is equal to change in y coordinate divided by change in x coordinate. In that case along y coordinate the position will be present, that is delta x divided by along x coordinate time, therefore delta x by delta t. Then delta x by delta t is nothing but average velocity. Therefore average velocity is equal to slope of the xt graph. Therefore slope of xt graph is equal to average velocity. In xt graph, average velocity is equal to the slope of the curve. Means if they are giving a graph, by using that graph, how we have to find out the average velocity? Average velocity is nothing but slope of the xt graph. Now if the line, means that is, if the curve is straight line and passing through like that, then in that case the average velocity is constant, because the slope, the value of slope is constant, therefore average velocity is constant. Now second kind of graph. Now the graph is looking like at that. In that case, now this is the initial position x1, and suppose this is the final position x2. Now this is the initial time t1 and this is the final time t2. In that case, average velocity is equal to x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t1. Now in that case, x2 value is less than x1, x2 value is less than x1. Therefore in that case average velocity value is negative. In that case the average velocity value is negative. Means if the xt graph, now this is the x and this is the time, along y-axis we have to take position, along x-axis we have to take time, and the graph is looking like at that, in that case the average velocity is negative. Okay, now suppose, and third kind, if this is the x position and this is the time, and if the particle is at stationary, okay, particle is at stationary. Now here is a first position, initial position. Now this is the final position. Now initial position x1 and final position x2 both are having same coordinate. Means in that case x1 is equal to x2, and here this is the time t1 and this is the time t2. Means this is the particle is at rest. Okay, when the particle is at rest, the xt graph is looking like at that. In that case x1 is equal to x2, then average velocity is equal to x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t1. In that case x2 is equal to x1, therefore that same quantity minus same quantity is 0, then the average velocity is 0. Okay, means when a xt graph, the line is parallel to the time coordinates, okay, the graph is parallel to the time coordinate, in that case average velocity is 0. And if the graph is, means that line is straight line and goes in a downward direction, in that case average velocity is negative. And if the graph is looking like as a straight line but not parallel to, that is, time axis and position axis, in that case the slope is positive, therefore average velocity is positive. Means how to determine with the help of xt graph the velocity is positive, negative or 0, we have to see in this video. Next up we have to see what is meant by instantaneous velocity and instantaneous speed. Now instantaneous velocity, do you know that average velocity is equal to x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t1. Now suppose the particle initially is at here, means this position is x1 and here this is the t1, and finally particle is to here, means this is the x2 and this is the t2. Okay, now here the difference between t1 and t2 is known as a delta t. Difference between t1 and t2 is known as delta t, and difference between x1 and x2 is known as delta x. Now average velocity is nothing but delta x by delta t. Okay, delta x by delta t. Now what is meant by instantaneous velocity? Now by using that formula, that is delta x by delta t, we have to find out the average speed. Okay, average speed from initial point to final point. Average speed from initial point to final point. But if you want to find out a velocity at a particular point, then in that case we have to know that, means the velocity at a particular point is known as instantaneous velocity. Then how to find out the instantaneous velocity? Instantaneous velocity is nothing but velocity at a particular point. Now see here, now suppose this is the particular point. Now in that case we have to find out the average velocity. Now what happen? What is meant by instantaneous velocity? We have to decrease delta t. Okay, means we have to decrease the value of delta t. Now you have to take this point and this point. Now in that case delta t is decreased. Okay, and that is delta x value is also changed. Now again we have to decrease the delta t value. Okay, again we have to decrease the delta t value, then delta x is also decreases. Okay, now again we have to decrease the delta t value. Okay, again delta x will be changed, means we have to take a very small value of delta t. Okay, then we have to find out the average velocity, then that average velocity is known as instantaneous velocity. Okay, means the instantaneous velocity is defined as the limiting value of average velocity when delta t approaches to 0. Means delta t value is not exactly 0, delta t value is approaches to 0, means delta t value is very small. Okay, means when delta t value approaches to 0, when delta t value approaches to 0, then limiting value of average velocity. Okay, when delta t value approaches to 0, then limiting value of average velocity is called as instantaneous velocity. Means when delta t value approaches to 0, means delta t value is very close to 0, then average velocity is known as instantaneous velocity. Okay, or simply we have say as a velocity. Therefore instantaneous velocity is defined as instantaneous velocity is equal to limit delta t tends to 0. This is known as the delta t value is approaches to 0, that is limiting value of delta t, means limiting value of average velocity, delta t tends to 0, limit delta t tends to 0, delta x by delta t. Now this is known as instantaneous velocity, means we have to make a delta t value is as small as possible, then we have to take, this is the average velocity of limiting value. Therefore instantaneous velocity is equal to limit delta t tends to 0, delta x by delta t. Therefore and instantaneous velocity is denoted by v. Therefore v is equal to limit delta t approaches to 0, delta x by delta t. Okay, and this is also written as, now this whole quantity, that is delta divided by delta t and limit delta t tends to 0. Now this makes as d by dt and remaining only x, therefore it is also known as dx by dt. therefore instantaneous velocity v is equal to limit delta t tends to 0 delta x by delta t, which is equal to dx by dt. Okay, and it is also defined as instantaneous velocity is equal to d by dt. d by dt, this quantity d by dt is nothing but rate of change or differentiation. Also it is known as differentiation. Okay, therefore instantaneous velocity is defined as rate of change of position or rate of change of displacement. Okay, rate of change of displacement is nothing but a instantaneous velocity. Instantaneous velocity is nothing but rate of change of displacement. Okay, and instantaneous velocity v is equal to limit delta tends to 0 delta x by delta t, which is equal to dx by dt. Okay, and it is defined as instantaneous velocity is defined as it is the time rate of change of displacement. Time rate of change of displacement. Okay, time rate of change of displacement means that is instantaneous velocity is equal to dx by dt, or this is also nothing but limit delta t tends to 0 dx by dt. Then it's a SI unit. Okay, its SI unit is same as a meter per second. Now instantaneous velocity is nothing but limit delta t tends to 0 delta x by delta t, this is nothing but dx by dt. Now instantaneous speed. Okay, instantaneous speed. Suppose the velocity, okay, instantaneous velocity is negative. Okay, suppose instantaneous velocity is minus 24 meter per second, then we have to take the magnitude of instantaneous velocity, that is magnitude of minus 24 meter per second. The magnitude means we have to take only positive values. If the value is negative also, then we have to take as a positive. Therefore magnitude of instantaneous velocity is magnitude of minus 24, then your answer become 24 meter per second. Now instantaneous velocity is minus 24 meter per second, but its magnitude is 24 meter per second. Then what is meant by instantaneous speed? Instantaneous speed is nothing but the magnitude of instantaneous velocity. Means if the value is also positive, then we have to take as a positive value. If the value is negative, then also we have to take the positive value. That is known as instantaneous speed. Okay, then how instantaneous speed is defined? Instantaneous speed is nothing but magnitude of instantaneous velocity. The magnitude of instantaneous velocity, is called instantaneous speed. That is instantaneous speed is equal to magnitude of instantaneous velocity. Okay, if the instantaneous velocity is positive, then instantaneous speed is positive. If instantaneous velocity is negative, then also instantaneous speed is positive. Then its a SI unit. Its a SI unit is meter per second. Now instantaneous speed is the magnitude of instantaneous velocity. Now today we have stopped here.